All right, there he is, Dustin Nielson. Our friend is back on the show. He's at Nielson TSN 1260 Edmonton Sports Talk. You can find on YouTube streaming and now and 95.7 Cruise in Edmonton. How's the radio thing been going?
It's FM radio life, man. What can I say? It's a big deal. I know it's cool. I think it's going really well. Like, we've got a bunch of people texting in saying that they flipped over from other stations to listen to ours. Yeah. So you know how that always feels. Like, that feels good. So yeah. I'm bumping into a bunch of people, like at the airport, actually, in Regina. I was leaving this last weekend. Some guy standing next to me, we're waiting for our bags of security. And he looks at me, and I was like, I knew right away. I was like, this guy listens to the show for sure. And he's like, hey, I just got to tell you, I'm a huge fan. I love that it's on the radio again. I was just like, all right, good. So, yeah, it's been really good.
Do you ever want to, like, kind of just maybe go do a remote at a, car audio shop or play some Steppenwolf for Harlequin or anything?
Yeah, I want to go to like a spa place, like hot tubs. I feel like they're always doing hot tub sales. You know what we will do? Because I have like that whole wide orbit set up on one of my computers while I'm doing the show, so I can see what the next song is coming up on Cruise. So, coming up just after 9 o'clock, sending back to classic rock on Cruise FM. I can't remember what it was today, but yeah, it's kind of fun.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so I've been having some fun throughout the show today, and I'm going to dump this on you. It's super organic because you don't know this question's coming. But with what Shohei Ohtani is doing in baseball, I'm not a big baseball fan. Obviously, been right into it here since the Jays, and it's just riveting, I guess. But what that Ohtani guy is, and I'm just like, well, this has really never been done. I think we'll see it again. I think it's just going to happen. But when you think of athletes, Dusty, that you and I are in the same demo, that you've seen over our time, any sport, any athlete, like one that you think, man, that's going to be hard to duplicate. What comes to mind?
There's nothing like in team sports, individual sport, Usain Bolt or and Michael, like those guys.
Yes,
it's different. But in a team sport, I guess really the only comparison, it was slightly before my day, but like a guy like Bo Jackson who could play two sports and be pretty darn good at it. But as far as one athlete in one sport, we've never seen anything like him. I agree with you. I said it, I asked somebody on our show last week, do you think 20 years from now, are there 10 guys like Ohtani in the league? And just with the natural, continued development of athletes, I don't think it's crazy. But this guy is like Trey Savage and Vladimir Guerrero Jr. as the same guy. It just doesn't make any sense. That game 2 games ago, when he got on base 9 times was insane. Mm-hmm. The one earlier in the playoffs where he struck out 10 guys and hit 3 home runs.
Yeah.
I mean, this was legendary. It never happened before. Will never happen again. Like when you see stats that goes only 12 players in postseason history have hit 3 home runs in a game, and only 26 have struck out 10, and he did it both in the same game. Like there's nothing. It's like McDavid also being Vasilevsky. It's ridiculous.
And my son, we're not a baseball family, but now we're all watching it. And yet last night he goes, do you know he can throw like 7 different pitches?
Yeah, they said that last night. Yeah, on the broadcast. I'm sitting there and I was coaching some basketball last night, but I watched the first inning. Then we listened to a couple innings on the way to basketball. In the first inning, they're like, no, Ohtani's on the mound. And just remember, he can throw 7 pitches. I didn't even know that there are 7 pitches. I thought there were like 5 pitches. Apparently there's 7, and he can throw them all. It's ridiculous.
There was the one, I don't know if it's a slider or if it's a cutter that he threw yesterday, and I was like, that reminds me of Baseball Stars on Nintendo. How you could just make the ball come.
You can turn the ball. Yeah, exactly. I'm half-ass expecting him to pull out a knuckleball at some point that nobody saw coming. But you know what? I thought that's why yesterday was so massive. Vladdy takes Ohtani deep. That is a unicorn in Ohtani, who everybody is watching, and the Blue Jays star player gets the better of him, which I think I think could end up being the biggest moment in the series, man. That was nuts.
And it was just like greatness nodding greatness, right? As soon as he sees it go, he goes, all right. Yeah, no, it's great.
What are you going to do?
Yeah, let's. I want to quickly talk some hockey here because we haven't talked a lot of Oilers on the show. We got Eric Francis on. We talk Flames a lot. Sprinkle in. What's the mood in Edmonton? Like I'm hearing a lot of people kind of bitching about the back end. I'm sure you get it on your show. When I've tuned into your show, you guys are always talking about, like last night, big second period, like a senior hockey game. They score 5. What's the mood in Edmonton with everything?
It's a lot better this morning than it was yesterday morning. I'll tell you that. That was a little bit better. And what's funny is that, they hadn't played well. The record was very close to sort of what it was last year, but a different team, like some younger guys that they're trying to work in. But they hadn't played very well. And then they had an awful first period. And then it was reported after the game that like the leadership group and the head coach kind of raised some voices finally in the first intermission. It was like, yeah, enough's enough. Like, I guess apparently Knobloch said they turned the puck over in transition 16 times in the first period, and they're just simply can't happen. Usually it's 4 or 5. So, I don't know if that was the wake-up call that they needed, but they came out and pumped 5 at 5-on-5 past them. McDavid had a couple of goals. He only had 1 going into that game. So
weird.
I mean, is it a one-off? It might be a one-off. They get the Rangers on Thursday night. If the Rangers come in here and beat them 3-1, everybody's going to be complaining again. But they did play 7 defensemen last night, which I think is because some of the guys who've been logging 23, 24 minutes hadn't been playing very well. Nurse and Bouchard had awful starts to the year. So, like, Nurse only played 16 minutes last night. We're pretty sure he was benched for the first 6 minutes of the second period. And it worked out. So we'll see what they end up running back.
I heard you guys this morning talking about 11-7, not instead of 6-7, where the kids are, right?
Oh, my God. I mean, I've sort of just given in. Like, I thought it was the stupidest thing forever. Now I know there's a lot of kids that listen to the show, and I've had a few dads be like, my kid the other day really laughed when you said 6-7. I was like, oh, my God.
Yeah. Well, I said it to Maddox Schultz when the last time I interviewed him, and my son, bantam hockey player, and all of his buddies, grade 9, they were just like, what's your dad doing? And I'm like, hey, that's awesome. I love it. Okay. Football. Are you doing the East this weekend?
I'm doing East semifinal and then East final as well. So I'm Thursday. I'm flying out to Montreal. Be there. Call the game Saturday afternoon, and then you know what? If it goes 7 games, the World Series, I'm going to be on a plane back to Edmonton during the World Series Game 7, which not ideal, but I'll see if I can track it down on Air Canada somehow.
Wow, might have to switch a flight. What do you make of this game? Winnipeg, Montreal, Davis Alexander, really good. So everyone buying stock. It's his first playoff game.
Yeah, that'll be interesting, right? He hasn't lost yet. He's a big deal, and he's a gamer, man. Like, I absolutely love watching him play. I think it might end up being close to what everybody sort of thinks. Like, we've been watching the Bombers this year, and you're like, they're not the Bombers of the past. And Zach's been getting hit a lot. He's been hurt a few times. How much does he have left in the tank? I think those are all fair, reasons to be worried for the Bombers, but they do have Brady Oliveira. And Brady Oliveira could, I'm not going to say win a game on his own because you're going to need help along the way, but Brady Oliveira can certainly keep the Winnipeg Blue Bombers in a football game. Mm-hmm. Blue Bombers core, for the most part, has been to 5 straight Grey Cups. Like, they know how to win in the playoffs. Their coach knows how to win the playoffs. And Jason Moss on the other side, I mean, he's obviously delivered as well. But Davis Alexander's outstanding. Like, a few games that I've got to see when he was healthy this year in person, just terrific. But let's see. Maybe the stage is too big. We don't know yet. I don't think it will be, but there's always that X factor going into the playoffs.
And 2 of the league's best D, Bombers are more by committee. And in the playoffs, that's the thing that's kind of the X factor for me. It's like, they got some experience there, and they got things by committee. That could be a bit of a surprise for some.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I mean, we'll see how Davis Alexander handles Willie Jefferson. Yeah, Willie had double-digit knockdowns this year. Like, he's going to cause some issues with his hands up in the air. Evan Holmes, an awesome defender. Tony Jones, their middle linebacker this year. Big shoes to fill, coming in and replacing Adam Bighill. But he's been all over the field pretty much the entire season. So I am excited to call a playoff game in Montreal. Like, there's great atmosphere at that stadium, Molson Percival, and that's just been in the regular season. I'm sure the playoffs is going to be taken to another level.
I really, really, really want somehow, some way, Winnipeg to make the Grey Cup and then have to use the other locker room. Like, it's the sicko in me, But I obviously the riders to be there too, right? But
yeah, it's disturbed. It's disturbing that you wished that, but that would be an amazing storyline and great company.
Exactly. Have you watched the Netflix series on who killed the Montreal Expos?
You know what? I mentioned it on my show. I'm 20 minutes in.
Yeah.
So on the flight, where was I last week? Oh, Regina. Yeah. Anyway, on the flight home from Regina, I finished watching, or I watched what's it, House of Dynamite on Netflix.
Okay.
It's like this nuclear war sort of thing. It was, I don't know, I liked it, but I hated it. It's a weird movie.
Yeah.
But then I started the Expos documentary, and I got about 25 minutes into it. I'm going to finish it tomorrow. That's the first thing I'm going to watch when I get on the plane to Montreal. So I'll finish that. And you know what? Like, I became a Jays fan when they hit the home runs. When I was 10 years old, 11 years old, Joe Carter, World Series.
Yeah.
But I also always liked the Expos too. Like, to me, I'm a Western Canadian guy. Yeah. I didn't live in Montreal and hate them. Like, I love both Canadian teams. So it did suck when the Expos left. I grew up a Habs fan, so I had a tie to the Expos as well, you know, being a Montreal fan. So I'm very curious. Like, I've never taken a deep dive into it. I know, you know, sort of the things on the edge. So I'm very interested to finish this documentary and see what's up.
Yeah, wait till they start getting into how it all kind of shakes down the year after the strike, and then the stadium, and then the plans for the stadium, and then people being like, that was never going to happen. Like, find out. Like, Quebec was ready to go broke, like, as a province. It's like, yeah, they weren't building a stadium. Okay, but yeah, we'll catch up on that one again. But and then just handicap the West semifinal, because you see so much football. I'm very curious. Is it a VA versus Rourke thing? Is it Dedrick Mills? How much rushing is he going to get done?
Yeah, I mean, if Calgary wins the game, Dedrick Mills is probably going to have like 120 yards. I don't want to take anything away from VA, but Dedrick Mills, to me, is the guy that sort of stirs the drink there when they get him going. I did that game, Calgary's last game, and Vernon Adams, it was here in Edmonton on Friday night, and VA said it, and I would fully agree with them. They had trouble finishing drives. Like, they settled for 10 and 12-yard field goals in that game. So that's not going to cut it against Nathan Rourke and the BC Lions. Like, those guys are basically 30 points out of the gate. So, I mean, they've won 6 in a row. BC's won 6 in a row. Rourke is undoubtedly the MOP in the league this year. BC's defense has been better lately. Still maybe somewhat questionable at times. But as far as storylines go, nothing against the game that I'm calling. But VA taking Calgary back into BC where they cut him loose to choose Rourke, that's phenomenal drama. And I hope it's a close one, and both those guys have opportunities in the fourth quarter.
That's what I think. Before I let you go, I'm just thinking, Game 7, you're on a plane. Why not just go to Game 7?
Well, I would be in Montreal, I guess, because I'm calling the game in Montreal, and it goes to like 5.
Okay.
So I don't think I wouldn't be able to make it by 6.
Yeah, there's no bullet train.
That's the tough thing. It would be better if it was next week when I'm in Hamilton, because then I could just make the trip. So I think on some of those Air Canada flights you can get like Sportsnet, or I don't know. I was hoping. I usually fly WestJet. I'm on Air Canada for the playoffs, but in WestJet they have like Wi-Fi all the time, and I just watch like my TV.
I know.
At home on my iPad.
I know. So, it's wild now what they have. I was watching one of my kids' hockey games. I'm like, this stream works on here now? What year
is it? I think technically we're at a point where I could do your show 36,000 feet in the air.
That's an idea. I like that. I like that idea. And then, hey, no kids at home today because the teacher strike's done.
Well, careful what I say about this whole teacher strike thing out here. I try to stay out of politics, but I'll say this: so my wife's a teacher. Both my kids are in grade 5 and 3. I like my family. I like when my wife and kids are around. So I came home today. I got home around, I don't know, like 12:30. It was all quiet. I'm not complaining. But I also like when they're here, so I'll miss them for a little while.
Dusty, it's always so much fun. Glad the radio thing is going well. Love listening to you guys on Edmonton Sports Talk, and travel safe this week, and we'll catch up again.
Yep, thanks a lot, man.